Hello everyone, it's Shaki Brown back here. Remember a while ago I did some bite-sized illuminations? Well, I got another bite for you here. I have been meditating on, well actually a few weeks ago, I was meditating on Genesis chapter 3. Not all of Genesis chapter 3, but in reference to Adam and Eve when they ate the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good, of the knowledge of good and evil. The tree that God told them that they should not eat. And I decided to go back to it again. I was just looking over my notes and some of the illuminations that I had received from that. And I said, you know what, I should probably just release some of this stuff to you guys. All right. So, in Genesis chapter 3, it talks about how the serpent, it says that, now the serpent was more cunning, verse 1, than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat of it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. And then the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die. For God knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So that tree in the midst of the garden was a tree of the knowledge of good and evil. There's two trees there. One of them was a tree of life, and the other one was called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And God had said, hey, to Adam, don't eat that. Don't eat any fruit of that tree, because in the day that you eat that tree, you will die. Okay, so now watch this now. I was just been pondering this over and over on the inside of me. And a couple of things, maybe not in the order I'm going to say them to you, but these things are there. One was God gave Adam knowledge of that tree. He gave him knowledge. God said to him, don't eat of that tree, because if you do, in the day that you do eat of it, you will die. So, in other words, I've been thinking about that tree. That tree was a lie, because you have the tree of life. That tree of the knowledge of good and evil should actually have been, in my opinion, I'm not saying God said this, in my opinion, should have been called the tree of death, because you have the tree of life, and this tree beside it, near to it, if Adam eats of it, he would die. So think about this. He eats of the tree of life, he lives. He eats of this tree of the knowledge of good and evil. See, it makes it look good. It makes it sound so awesome. It's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Ha ha ha. You know, you're going to get all this knowledge from it. But actually what it does to you is it's disguised as that. But its purpose is to kill you. And God was protecting Adam and Eve from that by telling them, don't eat of it. God didn't go in there with angels and stuff to block them or to stop them from eating it. He spoke words. So then it was up to Adam and Eve to nurture those words on the inside of them, and to not let any other word come in there, which would have been weeds, and to not give attention to weeds, which was the words that the serpent spoke to them. Right? There's a lot of stuff here. Because Eve gave attention to that and allowed that to grow on the inside of her, that is what overtook her. She ate of that tree before she actually physically ate it. She ate it on the inside of her mind, thinking about it, meditating upon it, you know, not really understanding that God actually gave them knowledge. So they wanted knowledge. They already had God. And God told them of that tree, something that they didn't know of that tree. They did not know that that tree would kill them if they ate it. They had no knowledge of that. You hear what I said? They had no knowledge of that. God gave them knowledge. They did not need to have that tree to give them knowledge of good and evil, because they had God. That's just one part I got of it. All right. My time is up. God bless you. We'll talk to you next time. Keep meditating with God. God bless.